Many famous people have come through the station over the years, no more so than Laurel and Hardy. Laurel and Hardy visited the station on many occasions, given the fact that Stan Laurel, the thin one, was born in Scotland. His father had a theatre not far from here called the Panopticon Theatre, which still exists to this day and has recently been refurbished. Now, the station concourse itself holds approximately 4,000 people. The reason for this was that Donald Matheson, the chief engineer for the Caledonian Railway, wanted the concourse itself to be George Square in minutiae. Now, when Laurel and Hardy come up, the volume of crowds that were in here is hard to comprehend. Approximately 40,000 people were in this station when Laurel and Hardy first arrived at platform number 1. If you look across, there was a wall in front of the old hotel there, and the people were that pressed close together that the wall fell down, and when the crowd left, there was hundreds of pairs of shoes left. Now, the second time that Laurel and Hardy came up, they came to platform number 1 again from their southern service, and quite a funny story that Oliver Hardy shook hands with a Glaswegian chap, and up until the day he died, he said that the Glaswegian, when he shook his hand, stole his 15 guinea watch off him. So Ollie wasn't laughing at that time. Many other famous people have also come into the station, and one of the ones that's held dearest in Glasgow and Scotland's heart is Benny Lynch. Benny Lynch was born in grinding poverty in the Gorbals, and Benny grew up and went on to be Scotland's first world champion, Scotland's first world champion boxer. Benny had a tragic life, but many times he came in here, he came into platform 11 after he won his first world championship bout in 1937, and there was 40-odd thousand people again to meet Benny in the station. At the start of the Second World War, the first ship to be sank by the Germans against the Allies was the Athenia. The Athenia was sank off the west coast of Ireland near Cork by a German submarine. Now, the survivors of the submarine sinking were taken to Greenock and on to Glasgow Central Station to be repatriated back to America. At the time, Joseph Kennedy was the ambassador to the Court of St James in London. Unfortunately, he had a prior engagement and couldn't come up to comfort and speak to the American nationals. So he sent his son, and his son carried out his first official duty at the age of 17 in the station manager's office, which is up here, and his son's name was John F. Kennedy, who later went on to become the President of the United States of America. Rudolf Hess, the Nazi Reich Führer, was captured in Scotland. He was captured and taken to Govan police station for interrogation. Rudolf Hess was then taken to platform 1 for his train journey down to London, for then to be taken on to Nuremberg. Hess asked if he could have a cigarette on the platform prior to boarding the train, and the policeman said that was no problem at all. Hess then motioned that he was wearing handcuffs, and quite interestingly, the policeman said to Hess, "Do I have it on your word as an officer and a gentleman that you won't try and escape?" Hess said, "Certainly won't." Hess smoked his cigarette, extinguished it on the ground, and then motioned forward, "Take me away," and the rest is history. Given the rich tapestry and history that this station has, not just of the people coming through or the famous people, the day-to-day stories, the stories that myself as a member of staff has experienced from people who I've worked with. There was a woman in labour in platform 13, a chap that I worked with, he delivered the baby. It's the small stories, it's the intimate stories of people's lives and passing through Glasgow Central Station. You speak to older people we met in Glasgow Central, and it's the romance of the railway and the station.